Hello guys, it's Rahnotus here from CMStudioz. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to set up your OBS to record videos and live stream. First, let's go ahead and take a look at our settings. We have our general settings, which you don't need to really worry too much about the general settings. There is one option in here that I want to briefly talk about, and that is the automatically to record when you're streaming. Normally this is disabled, but you can enable it if you have a decent rig and you're not lagging on your stream. So if you have a decent rig, you can just enable this, and this will allow you to live stream and take the recorded footage off of your hard drive and edit it down and to put it on YouTube. Secondly, we're gonna talk about our stream services. You can stream to, well, all of these lists, and you need to have a stream key, but you should definitely pick a server that's closest to you for the less amount of latency, so you can have that interaction with the viewers that will be watching you. On to the output settings. You want to keep the output mode to simple, and your streaming bitrate can be around 3500. If you have a really decent internet connection and you want to stream in a higher resolution, 1080p should definitely be your standard resolution you want to stream in. And for that, I would recommend 3500, between 3500 and 5000 for the for the visual clarity. The audio bitrate never needs to be touched. You're fine with 160. Your recording path, you can set this, you can browse it, and you can set it to your 2TB hard drive, or wherever you have space. If you do have a 2TB hard drive, I do recommend using indistinguishable. It does bring a little bit more video quality to it. But if you don't and you have limited space like I do, then high quality medium file size is fine. Make sure your recording format by default will be FLV. You want to change that to MP4 so you can edit your footage in Vegas and other video editing applications. Again, we don't need to touch on audio settings yet. There is I can make another video for you where you can hook up you can download a voice meter and you can hook it up to where you can lower individual things, like for example Discord. Maybe you don't want people talking on Discord so loud on your stream, but there's no way to edit that right now. You can download voice meter and you can adjust it to where people that are watching your stream can't really hear your friends as loudly, or you can make it to where they can't hear them at all if that's how you want to stream. Onto our video settings. Your base canvas resolution is the resolution of your monitor. Just leave that the way it is and that'll be fine. Now your output scaled resolution is what's going to be outputted to the stream. Again, if you have a decent setup and a decent rig, you can stream at 1080p. If you can't, and if you're dropping frames, then I recommend downgrading this to 720p and it'll still be watchable, and just lower the bit rate so you don't drop frames. If you really have a good computer and you're not having a problem at all, then you can add some sampling, like 16 samples or 32 samples, depending on the rig, to even get more of a clear feel. Now your common FPS values, again, this is all based on your rig and how much it can support. I can only support 30 frames at 1080, unfortunately, but some computers can support it at 60 frames. I'm only running a quad core. My GPU could definitely support 60 frames, but my quad core CPU is actually limiting me in that regard. Let's go to our advanced settings. Now here, this is a little bit of a tricky thing. Normally you can just leave it to normal, your process priority, but sometimes Windows likes to screw you over, and if you're dropping frames and you know that it's not anything else, none of your settings, and it's just randomly happening one of those days, before you go screwing around with any of your other settings, just try and do above normal or high process priority, and that might fix it. It's done it to me in the past, and it has fixed it for those type of days when Windows just wants to be a little crazy. And if you want to set up a stream delay, let's say if you're getting ghosted on League of Legends or some other multiplayer game, you can set up an artificial stream delay. And that about does it for this. Let's get over to the themes. Now, you see that I'm running a certain theme here. It's animated and stuff. Pretty nice looking theme in my opinion. Not bad at all. This theme, I didn't make at all. This is just a free theme that you get with Streamlabs OBS that you can download over in the theme section. You can order them. You can sort them by clicking on these tabs here. There's different tabs like be right back. Maybe you only want an offline image to put on your Twitch offline image. Maybe you want to sort it to first person shooter type of overlays and stuff. You can just screw around as much as you want with this. They have static overlays and animated overlays. Animated overlays do take up a certain amount of resource. As you can see down at the bottom, this animated overlay takes up 30% of my CPU because I'm only running a quad core, so it really hurts. But it does look good. But if we switch over to MTG Arena J, for example, it takes a little bit for it to switch. You'll notice that the CPU is going down into the 8 to 10%, and it will stay like that. And that's because it's not, all these animated flashes and stuff aren't going at 60 frames, because normally for some reason the people that do the animations, they, you know, it's set to 60 frames or 120 frames or really high frame rates, and that can really bottleneck your CPU. I mean, look, it went all the way down to 3% there. It never even hit 3% when I was on the animated overlay. So if you have a quad core like me and you want to do streaming and you want to do recording, I definitely recommend staying away from the animated overlays. I know they look good, but they're really tanking your performance, and just, they're not good for you right now till you upgrade your rig to like a 6-core or a Ryzen CPU. Now I want to talk to you about the groups here. This is your header that you get with the free themes. You could move the full thing if it lets me. If it does that, you just click back on the header and say you can move the entire thing around, which is really nice because it groups all the scenes together. It groups all the headers together and lets you do that. And you can do the same with your webcam. You can move the whole thing around. If you want to shrink your webcam and shrink your banner down because it's too big and you don't like it, you can just click separately on your webcam, hold shift so you don't lose quality, and you have more freedom of movement, and you can shrink it, and then you click on your webcam frame and you can shrink that as well, and now you have that, and now you can click back on webcam and just move it just like that wherever you want, and you can do the same up there. I believe that's all you need to know to get started streaming. I hope this video helped you, and if you would like to know more about how to set up voice and how to prioritize the Discord audio to where it doesn't interfere with your stream or you can lower it, let me know down in the comments, and I hope you all have a nice day.